Listen, I know what you're thinking right now, right? You work a whole week, you look at your paycheck, and FICA, Social Security, Medicare being taken out of your paycheck, right? But listen, this is not uncommon as most people nowadays, their biggest expense throughout their lifetime is going to be paying Uncle Sam. But what if I tell you I could share with you a strategy on how you can be able to pay less taxes like the rich and wealthy are doing right now. Okay. You don't want to miss this episode with us because we are going to break down on how you can pay less money in your taxes. So let's definitely get into it. Okay.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement.
Blueprint Nation, what's going on to another dope episode of the Respect My Blueprint podcast. Today's episode, we are going to talk about how you can be able to pay less money in your taxes, okay? Yes, there's nothing that's more aggravating. You grind 40 hours a week, you're paying your taxes like clockwork, and you still feel broke at the end of the work week. Listen, millionaires are out there, billionaires are out there, they're all utilizing the tax code strategy to their advantage, right? And the best thing about it, you can be able to do so as well too. Not because that there is some secret society or there's some secret rules that's only exclusive to them. The problem is lack of information, okay? They have the resources and the knowledge and the ability to be able to take advantage of these tax loopholes, which in this video, I'm going to make it super simple and break it down for you and share with you the 6-step blueprint on how you can be able to go ahead and save taxes every year, just like the ultra rich and the wealthy as well too. Okay. So listen, you definitely want to go ahead and pay attention to this video because we are going to go ahead and get straight into it. All right. So first things first, I want to start off with is the middle class ends up paying the highest amount of taxes out of all of the classes within the country, right? And the facts don't lie. This is just a cold, hard reality. According to actually the IRS data, the top 1% of earners pay around 20% of their income in taxes. But guess who's actually getting hit the hardest? You guessed right. The middle class. All right. The middle class who's earning anywhere between 45,000 to 150,000 pay an average tax rate of 30 to 35% when you factor in things such as income tax, payroll tax, sales tax, property tax, tired of being taxed. So these are all the taxes that the average person in America ends up paying year in and year out. Meanwhile, people like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, for years have taken advantage of tax loopholes and rules where they've paid little to no taxes in federal income tax. You heard of it, right? We all have heard of the story how Donald Trump, during his first year of presidency, where he paid zero federal income taxes. So now all of us are probably asking ourselves, how was he able to do that? Listen, they're not doing anything illegal, believe it or not. They're just using the system that was built for them. And obviously they have the ability to be able to go ahead and leverage these rules and resources to be able to use it to their advantage. Okay. So I felt it's definitely necessary for you to be able to go ahead and learn these same resources to use it in your advantage as well too. All right. The first thing that you want to understand is I'm going to hit you with the first tax cheat code is basically it's not about how much you make. It's about how you make it. Right. Again, it's not about how much you make, but actually how you make it. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. All right. Now, there are several types of tax categories out there. There's your earned income. All right. That's actually the income that you earn from your job. That is the highest tax category right there. Then you have your passive income. Now, this comes from things such as rent, dividends that you earn from stocks and investments. This is taxed in a lower category. Then you have capital gains tax, which is things are from like assets and investments that you make from things like real estate. And this is super low tax even below passive income. And last but not least is borrowed money, right? Which comes from loans or lines of credit. And guess what? This is absolutely tax free, right? So knowing these four different type of categories, you understand which category is ranked the highest all the way to the lowest, right? And the rich don't actually live off their salaries. They live off of assets, appreciation, and leverage. So that's why it's very important to understand what is actually taxed at the lowest rate and maybe even not even taxed at all, such as borrowed money, right? So let's take this for an example, right? Say you own about $10 million in stocks, or let's just say $1 million, right? You own $1 million in stocks, right? Guess what you do? You don't sell it. You just hold on to the stock and it ends up keep growing and growing, right? Now, say you borrow $2 million against your, let's just say, you borrow $500,000. All right. Let's be a little bit more realistic. You borrow $500,000 against your $1 million worth of stock at a very low interest rate. Now, guess what? You're going to live tax-free off this borrowed cash while your stock is going to keep growing, and you'll be able to also deduct the interest rate from the borrowed money as well too, right? So you see the strategy here, you see how the benefit actually comes into play. So this is actually a win-win situation here where a lot of the rich and wealthy, they are utilizing this strategy to their benefit to not only be able to grow their wealth, but also put more money back in their pocket versus write-offs than giving the money to Uncle Sam. So this is a very great tax strategy that a lot of rich and wealthy people are using to their advantage. And I want to share this with you, as this is the mindset and the approach that I would want you to take when it comes to paying Uncle Sam and minimizing your tax bill as well too. All right. Now, another great thing I want to share with you is that tax breaks, as like I mentioned before, it really isn't made for the lower class or poor people, right? They're actually, tax breaks are created to reward certain types of behaviors nowadays that the rich and wealthy have mastered. All right. And there's nothing that the rich have mastered better than write-offs. Okay. And I'm going to give you a few examples of them, right? Such as, like, for instance, business travel. Whenever they use their private jets or they go meet a client, guess what? It's a client meeting, right? When you want to purchase a vehicle, instead of purchasing it in your personal name, they purchase it under the business, right? If the vehicle is over 6,000 pounds, guess what? That's considered as a Section 179 write-off right there. Also, utilizing part of their residence as a home office, okay? So you have an office, you can dedicate 200-300 square feet of that office to be able to write it off as a home office as well too. Another way to be able to go ahead and do a write-off, your kids, okay? You could pay your child up to $13,850 tax-free per year, okay? Also, another great tax strategy that a lot of wealthy people are taking advantage of is maxing out their IRAs as well as their 401ks, as this reduces your taxable income by up to $66,000 as well too. So I'm just sharing with you guys certain ways how you'll be able to go ahead and take advantage of these well-known write-offs that's pretty much available to everyone. But the problem is, not many people are aware of it and take advantage of these write-offs to use it in their benefit. The IRS doesn't care whether you're super rich or you're wealthy, or if you're a middle income class earner, right? The only thing they care about is if you're compliant, okay? And the rich, believe it or not, for the most part, they stay compliant. They know the rules. And by knowing the rules, this allows you to be able to go ahead and know how to operate the game as well too, all right? Now, another great tax strategy that I want to go ahead and share with you guys is, do you ever wonder how every billionaire or multimillionaire has a foundation? Okay. Now, believe it or not, from the outside in, it may look like, oh, they're maybe just generous. They donate into a charitable cause or anything like that. But let me give you a secret. It's actually a tax shield. Okay. So a lot of the billionaires and multimillionaires use things such as foundations, trusts, and LLCs to be able to go ahead and utilize it as a tax shield for themselves. For instance, operating a private foundation allows wealthy people to donate money as well as get tax deductions. But guess the best part of it? They can still control the money that is used within these private foundations, often reinvesting it into the companies that they already own. So this is a good way to be able to go ahead and build an entity and use this entity to be able to go ahead and save money on taxes, but still control the money and the cash flow that's going within this entity as well. All right. Also, which a lot of us probably are aware of this, but I think that more and more people should be utilizing it, is LLCs as well as us corporations. Now, stands for limited liability company. This is a great way for you to be able to go ahead and reduce your self-employment tax as well as shield yourself from any business expenses or business liabilities as well. Instead of putting a vehicle in your business name or putting any expenses in your business name, form an LLC and put it under that LLC's name, right? And this is a great way where you'll be able to go ahead and further extend your write-offs and get greater tax benefits versus if you were to put it in your personal name, then you're going to be taxed at the highest rate possible. And again, what segment of people are taxed the highest? You guess right. Middle class America. All right. So you definitely want to be able to go ahead and shift that mindset and use the same behaviors that the ultra wealthy are using. All right. Another thing that the rich and wealthy are using is called trust. All right. Which trusts nowadays are basically instruments that are used to build generational wealth and reduce state tax exposure as well. Listen, this is not financial or tax related advice. This is only for entertainment purposes. So be sure that all the information that I'm sharing with you, you definitely go ahead and consult with a tax strategist, a tax attorney, or a CPA before you exercise anything that I'm sharing with you. Make sure I want to get that disclaimer out there. Utilizing a trust is another great way for you to be able to go ahead and be able to shield yourself from tax liabilities, to be able to go ahead and protect yourself as a tax shield, just like the rich or wealthy is doing as well too. Most people may be a little uncomfortable or they're frightened or they think that it's very hard to start up a trust, but believe it or not, it's very straightforward and easy. And nowadays, just like you're watching this video on YouTube or whatever platform, you can go on platforms and you can learn how simple and easy it is to be able to go ahead and set up a trust for you and yourself and get the same tax benefits that a lot of the rich and wealthy people are doing as well too. All right. Now, also what I wanted to share is there's also the magic of what I call is depreciation. Okay. Depreciation is another wonderful tax strategy that the rich and wealthy people are using to their advantage, right? And you see how there's real estate investors, they're out there flexing multifamily properties and they're telling you how they're doing fix and flips and how they're making lots of money, passive income by owning real estate. Guess what? They're actually collecting more money, or they're actually collecting other things besides the rent from these properties that a lot of people are not aware of. Okay. And what is it called? It's called depreciation. All right. Let me give you an example. Say you have $1 million multifamily duplex or a fourplex, right? Now, believe it or not, as most people are aware, every year this asset, this duplex or fourplex, is going to accumulate $30,000 to $50,000 in paper losses every year. Whether it's maintenance that's needed, you need to hire employees, the upkeeping of the property, the property taxes, whatever the case may be. But every year there is a certain amount of paper losses that's associated with the asset. Guess what? It doesn't even matter if the property is cash flowing. Guess what? These paper losses offset the income, which legally reduces your tax liability. So that's why you hear investors and real estate investors like Grant Cardone say, real estate pays me twice, once with the rent and again with the tax breaks. So this is another great way how a lot of the rich and wealthy and individuals who are aware of these rules they're using to reduce their tax liability is knowing the art of depreciation. Okay. So again, these rules are favored to the rich or favored to the wealthy. It's all about knowing the right information to be able to leverage it to your benefit as well too. All right. Because listen, I do want to get one thing straight. Most people get mad at the rich and wealthy for not paying any taxes because they're paying very minimal in taxes. But guess what? Listen, they know the rules. They know the system. Okay. Problem is, this is the type of information that is not taught in the school system. All right. Schools teach us how to work for money, but not how to make money work for us. Right. So it's very important to understand, listen, at the end of the day, taxes are going to end up being one of the biggest expenses in your life. And you want to be able to go ahead and learn the rules, just like how rich and wealthy have learned the rules on how to make money work for them and reduce their tax liability to put more money in their pocket. Okay. So it's very straightforward. Listen, if you start a business, buy assets, leverage credit, hire your kids, build trust, you're using the same exact system that the rich and wealthy are using to be able to go ahead and reduce their tax liability and grow their wealth as well too, right? The tax code is not a punishment, guys. It's a playbook, and it's a playbook that everybody needs to learn. All right. So with that being said, if you're super serious about learning how to be able to go ahead and save your money on taxes, you need to start thinking like the wealthy are thinking and behaving like the wealthy is thinking. Get yourself a CPA, get yourself a tax strategist, not TurboTax. That's not a tax strategist, right? So you want to be able to get with a professional who actually understands the tax laws, understands the tax code, and they can help you use it to your benefit. Start an LLC. This is something that's very straightforward. Even if you don't have a business, having an LLC is a great way and a great instrument to be able to offset your tax liability, as well as it comes with great benefits as being able to build business credit, also to be able to expand your write-off capabilities as well. Track every expense like it's money on the table. A lot of us have a great idea of how much money is coming in, but no clue of how much money is going out. It's not about budgeting, but it's more about having a spending plan. There's definitely a lot of free tools and budgeting out there that you can utilize that can help you optimize and manage your expenses. Therefore, this will make it a lot easier for you at the end of the year tax time to see what you can write off and what you can save on taxes as well. All right. And also, the most important, learn how to borrow against your assets, not your paycheck. Okay. So that's why it's very important to grow your asset column, grow your investments, grow your businesses, grow things such as stocks, entrepreneurship, passive income. These are the things that you want to, this is the column of your ledger that you want to grow. This is going to help you build generational wealth as well as unlock financial freedom for yourself. Listen, you may not have millions yet, all right? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the habits start now, all right? Wealth isn't about money. It's all about strategy and all about having a blueprint. Once you have the blueprint, then all you need to do is just execute on that blueprint. And that's going to put you in a great position to be able to go ahead and pay less taxes, just like the rich and wealthy, okay? Listen, the tax code is over 70,000 pages long. All right. Only a few pages will tell you how much you owe. The rest, it's all about how you can pay less in taxes. All right. So it's very important that nowadays you stop playing the employee game and start playing the entrepreneurship game and start utilizing the tools that's right there available in front of you. All right. Learn the rules, build the blueprint, beat the system. All right. Listen, if you want to be able to go ahead and learn strategies on how to be able to leverage your credit, how to be able to build your credit, build wealth in entrepreneurship, join the free Blueprint Movement community. This is a free community where we're going to be able to go ahead and partner yourself with like-minded individuals that want to be able to unlock financial freedom, be able to build generational wealth, and get up to $50,000 to $100,000 in funding to be able to start their business and get to the next level. If you want to learn more and join the free community, the link is down below in the description. I definitely hope to see you inside of the community as we're looking to go ahead and build tremendous wealth for a whole new generation of entrepreneurs out there. But other than that, thanks for tapping in. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time checking out the channel, do me a huge favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as we definitely want to be able to keep growing the channel and keep producing more content like this. Also, leave a comment. If you have any tax strategies that you think that would be helpful for the community, let us know. We definitely would like to know about it, right? I highly doubt Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, and Mark Zuckerberg is going to leave a comment in the channel about how to save on tax strategies. But guess what? We need to count on ourselves. So if we could do it for ourselves, guess what? That'd be great because nobody else is going to. But other than that, join the blueprint. It's a movement. And as always, catch up on the flip side. Take care. Bye-bye.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement. Yep, West Paul with Blueprint. This guests are exclusive. Get on and tune in and then learn some new tips about credit, finance, investment. A nice chance to get rich and buy land. Flip it, quick 9 bands. Learn all the skills from West, he did it. Learn how to build successful business. Run up a mill and get the digits. Run up a mill. Look, safe place where guests are speaking. Based off financial freedom. All facts, no cap, believe it. Podcast, you have to see it.